So here I am HEMASHARENI RAMACHANDRAN and NURUL SYAFIQAH BINTI AHMAD SHABUDIN. We are going to present about the lesson plan prepared by us. So I'm just going to go briefly on our lesson plan. So the year we have chosen is year 2, and the focus skill will be listening and speaking skills. And the pupils' proficiency level will be of mixed, which is from intermediate to high. So, the content standard and learning standard is here. The first one, 1.2 and 1.23, is for listening skill, and the next one is for speaking skills. This is the language content focus, which is the vocabulary will be mainly on food names, and then the grammar content is about yes I do and no I don't, and the sentence structure will be question forms and the corresponding answers for the questions. So the educational emphasis, we have multiple intelligences, thinking skill, and values. And the resources or teaching aids used in this lesson will be Google Slides, audio, and also Educa Play. So for set induction, which is to recall pupils' background knowledge. So teacher will be asking the students questions to ask about the use of yes and no. And then we have presentation, which will be more towards teacher-centered. So teacher will be explaining to pupils on the use of yes I do and no I don't through Google Slides. So we have prepared Google Slides to explain the meaning and the usage of the sentences, and teacher will be asking questions. And then we have practice, whereby the pupils will be listening to the audio, and then they have to answer quiz, a few questions through the app, through the source, which is Educa Play. And then production is will be pupils in pairs. They have to create a short conversation using the knowledge they have learned in the previous stages. And then here we have closure. Closure, as usual, the teacher will be recapping or revising the sentences and the question forms learned. So teacher will be asking a few questions for the pupils to answer. And then moral value. So here we have prepared a Google slide for a better explanation on our lesson plan for each stages. So our presentation is going to be about practicum scaffolding on materials development. So here is the overview of the lesson. As I have already told before, we are focusing on year 2 and they are of mixed level of proficiency. The topic focus here is Unit 6, which is Get Dressed. And the skills here, the main skill is listening skill and the complementary skill will be speaking skills. And the grammar content here is question forms. Example, do you like salad? Yes, I do. So how are we going to conduct the set induction here is, first, in order for us to make sure that the pupils understand the grammar content is by first asking the pupils whether they know the use of yes and no. So teacher uses the Google Slides and ask questions to pupils. So the simple questions will be like, do you know what is the use of yes and no? So when do you use yes? So maybe the pupils will be telling, okay, you use yes when we agree to something or we like something. And then no will be to disagree to a certain statement and to dislikes. And then pupils will be responding orally. And then here teacher will be introducing the topic of the day slowly. Uh, so here is the example of the Google Slides which will be used in the set induction stage. So which is to test if the pupils understand and know the use of yes and no. So the rationale of why we are using or we are conducting this activity will be to recall pupils' prior knowledge and then to introduce the topic of the day and then to stimulate pupils' interest towards the lesson. Okay, and then the presentation stage will be teacher introduces the answer forms. Okay, so here the teacher will be using Google Slide also. So the main two focused answer forms will be yes I do, no I don't. So this is the only two focused sentences, and then teacher explains the use of both sentences using the Google Slides. Then teacher asks questions to pupils about food. So for example here, do you like chicken, Hema? So this is the question form, and then the pupils answer orally, no I don't like chicken. So this is the example of sentence. So here we have the example of slides from for presentation stage. So here the two phrases focus will be yes I do and no I don't. Then here we have the sample question form together with the answers. So do you like to eat salad? Yes I do. No, I don't. So here you can see the difference we used, where for yes, I do, we have used the green color box to show agreement. And then for no, I don't is to show disagreement or dislike. So we have used red color. So here is the link for the Google Slides.
Okay, Emma, can I continue with the practice stage?
Okay, now Nur, SYAFIQAH, BINTI, AHMAD, SHABUDIN will be continuing for the practice stage.
Okay, for the continuation for the lesson plan that we have planned. So for practice stage, firstly, the teacher will play the audio on the conversation about food, and the pupils have to listen carefully to the audio. So here is the audio for the conversation about food.
And read. Lucy, do you like fish and chips?
Yes, I like fish and chips.
Do you like salad?
Yes, salad is my favourite.
Do you like chicken, Lucy?
No, I don't like chicken.
So that's basically some of the audio that will be played. So once the teacher listen to the audio, we will they will get access to the quiz in Educa Play with the link given, which is this one. So in this Educa Play, first they have to identify themselves and start. So once the audio play, they have to match the question to the answer. For example, the first question that have been asked by Jamal and Lucy, for example, do you like chicken? So they have to listen carefully to the audio and choose the correct answer here. So as you can see in Educa Play, we have the number of tries that the teacher can set. For example, if the teacher said that the number of tries can only be 5 tries or 3 tries, so if they have reached the maximum number of the tries, then they will cannot be able to continue to answer the quiz. And there's also time, but as for this quiz, we already state that there will be no time limit for them to answer, so they can answer and take as many time as they want. So in practice stage, once the teacher play the audio and let the pupils to get access to the Educa Play using the link given, the teacher will also give instruction about the assessment and give some time to complete the quiz. So after that, the pupils will submit the quiz and teachers discusses the answer with pupils. So using Educa Play, the teacher doesn't have to mark the answer one by one, as it already recorded who answers and what their answers are. So it will be easy for both teacher and pupils to know their correct answer and also their marks. So move forward. Okay, this is the example of the matching activity. So the reason why we use Educa Play is because we want to assess pupils' listening skill through quiz. This is not only not very much time consuming, it's also make the teacher and the pupils have fun in learning, because they able to challenge themselves as it has number of tries. Okay, as for the production stage, the pupils will get into pairs, and the pairs will be pupil A and pupil B. So a short conversation will take place between pupil A and pupil B about food, because they already have learned about do you like to eat salad? Yes, I do, or no, I don't. So for example, pupil A asks question to pupil B about his or her likes and dislikes about food, and pupil B response. So in this activity, in order to test their speaking skill, the pupils also need to record their conversation and submit respectively. So the teacher recaps the lesson by asking pupils to give suitable responses to the dialogues shown in the Google slide, and teacher imparts the moral value of the lesson in the closure stage. So as for the production stage and also closure, also being included here in Google slide, whereby the start induction and the presentation slide have been included. So here, as the teacher teach in the class, as he or she uses the Google slide, so it moves from set induction to next activity, which is yes, I do and no, I don't, which has presented by Hema. So okay, here, and once they already answered the question in the presentation stage, whether they like to eat pizza, whether they like to eat hot dog or not, they are able to listen the instruction from the teacher through Google Slide as well. So after the teacher already complete the induction, the presentation stage, and the practice stage, the teacher can also come back to the Google Slide that has been used beforehand and give instruction to the pupils. For example, have a conversation with your friend and get to know his or her favorite food. You can replace the food names according to your creativity, because as we already listened from the audio, Lucy and Jamal did mention some names of the food. For example, they mentioned rice, they mentioned chicken, and also in this Google slide, we introduced some of a new vocabulary, for example, fries, chips, vegetables, fruits. So when they are having short conversation with their friends, they are able to change the names of the food according to their creativity. And for this short conversation, the teacher may ask to have at least 4 questions for the pupils to ask to their friends, and record the session and submit the video. So once the production stage has been done, the teacher can recap the lesson by asking what they have learned. For example, they can answer, we learned about yes, I do, no, I don't. And also the teacher can recall the sentence structure taught by asking them question that has been learned. Do you like chicken, Sarah? Do you like hamburger? And after the pupils respond, the teacher can tell the moral value of the lesson, which is they have to converse appropriately with their friends using the appropriate language of English language. So I think that's all from me. Hema, do you have anything to add?
I think that's all about our lesson plan. So here, maybe to wrap up, I would say that our lesson plan for listening skill is very prominent, as pupils will be listening to the audio once and then they have to answer the quiz, which will be quite interesting for them rather than answering comprehension questions or something like that. So here they will be matching the question forms to the respective answer forms. And then production part also, speaking skills is quite prominent, whereby they have to ask questions and answer to their friends. So as we can see in the audio, and also the sample of question forms and answers provided in the Google Slides is quite repetitive. The sentence structure is quite repetitive so that pupils can grasp the sentences better. So that's all from us. Thank you.
Okay, that's all from us. Thank you.